The craziest, sexiest hookup of your life is just another Tuesday in the world of dark desire. After roughly a year and a half, this Netflix original finally returned this week with a brand new season. And if you thought that season 1 was a twisting ride, strap in. They're going to have to invent new shapes to explain the sorts of love connections that pop up in season 2. If you've already binge-watched this new season, you likely have some questions. Mostly, what, why, and was there really a fake twin? No matter your questions, we have you covered. Consider this your guide to the ending of Dark Desire Season 2. Who really killed Julieta? You know how Dark Desire Season 1 was all about how Darió, Alejandro Speitzer, wasn't actually sketchy? Season 2 threw that premise out the window. The person who murdered Darió's fiancée was none other than Darió himself. It all started with Liz, Catherine Siachoke, Darió's adoptive aunt. Over the years, Liz became obsessed with Darió for reasons we'll get into in a second. When she saw that her nephew was engaged to Julieta, Ariana Saavedra, while still having hot sex with Alma, Maite Perroni, she lost her mind. Liz drugged Julieta, sent her a video of Darió and Alma having sex, then lured her up to the roof. This was all part of some master plan to ruin the couple's wedding, by the way. But it got out of hand in a matter of minutes. While on the roof, Julieta confronted Darió about the video, and they argued. In the middle of their screaming match, Darió flew into a rage and threw Julieta off the roof. So yeah, it was Darió. Once again, Dark Desire proves that the most obvious answer is sometimes the correct one. What role did Liz play in Julieta's death? So what does Liz have to do with all of this? Buckle up for some serious trauma. In Season 2, we learn that Darió wasn't the biological son of Antonio, meaning he was never biologically related to his uncle Alberto. Still, after Antonio's death, Alberto and Liz took Darió in and gave him a home, which is what you'd expect from an uncle and aunt. That's also when Child Protective Services really should have intervened. While Darió was still a minor, Liz started to sleep with him, while Alberto filmed the whole thing. The word of the hour is statutory rape, people. The more Liz and Darió slept with each other, the more obsessed with Darió Liz became. She even killed her husband so they could be together. But the day they were supposed to run away, Darió took his abusive step-aunt's money and jewels and took off on his own. Liz was left as a single widow who was pregnant with Darió's child. She got an abortion, but her anger toward Darió never healed. Long story short, Liz's beef with Alma and Julieta came down to jealousy. She just wanted Julieta to learn that Darió was cheating on her and to call off the wedding. Why that involved drugging a young woman and hiding in the shadows like a creep is unclear. But whatever her reasoning, Liz is in jail now. Did Darió have a twin? That was another convoluted lie. No, there was never a second Darió. The entire twin story was something the real Darió made up in an attempt to protect his money. Basically, the excuse Darió gave was that if people were so focused on finding a second him, the real one could just hide his wealth in Bitcoin and live in relative peace. No, that explanation doesn't make much sense. But faking a twin when you've committed a murder sure does. How does Dark Desire Season 2 end? Alma pieced together about 70% of this mystery before she confronted Darió. But she didn't figure out the whole puzzle until they were mid-sex. She made him confess to faking his twin and open up about his past with Liz and Julieta before she agreed to run away with him. But that was all a ruse. Alma tricked Darió into trusting her all in an attempt to get him to confess to Julieta's death. Her first trust-only plan didn't work, so she had to pull out the big guns. That meant using Esteban, Erik Hayser, and a voice changer to lure Darió to an abandoned building floor, rigging that floor with cameras the police were watching, and confronting him yet again at gunpoint. When that plan also failed, Alma pulled out the failsafe, truth serum. By injecting him with sodium pentothal, Alma finally got Darió to confess that he murdered Julieta. Mission accomplished. In the final moments of Dark Desire Season 2, Alma revealed her master plan before smoking one last cigarette. As she put it out, Darió realized that he was handcuffed to a hospital bed. It looks as though this troublemaker may be gone for good. Will there be a Dark Desire Season 3 on Netflix? It's taken a year and a half of waiting, but one of the steamiest shows on Netflix is finally back. This week marks the return of Dark Desire, the streaming giant's romantic thriller from Leticia López Margalli. Dark Desire is a bit like watching a telenovela with higher production quality. There are endless betrayals, even more hookups, and the staple of telenovelas everywhere. Surprised twin brothers. Wondering what the future of this addicting thriller may be? Here's everything we know about the possibilities of Dark Desire Season 3. Will there be a Dark Desire Season 3? Probably not. When Dark Desire first premiered, it was a massive hit. The Mexican romantic thriller amassed 35 million viewers in its first 28 days of release, according to Netflix. Those numbers made it the most watched non-English Netflix title at the time. Remember, this was before the era of Squid Game. That great performance secured the series a second season. But according to Newsweek, Season 2 will be Dark Desire's last. After that ending, it's easy to see why. What could happen in Dark Desire Season 3? First, let's get this out of the way. Dark Desire Season 3 probably isn't happening. It's already been announced that Season 2 would be the last installment of this series. But sometimes even the most consistent streamers go back on their renewal promises, especially when you're talking about popular shows. So if there is a Season 3, what could happen? Season 2 ended with Alma, Maite Perroni, getting the hunky Darió, Alejandro Speitzer, to admit that he actually murdered his bride-to-be, Julieta, Ariana Saavedra. It took a lot of lying, backstabbing, traumatic revelations, and steamy hookups to get to that plot twist, but it happened. The season ended with Darió handcuffed to a hospital bed and Alma finally free to walk away from the man who has occupied her thoughts ever since that first late-night mistake. If another season were to happen, Darió would have to find a way to get out of those handcuffs. After what we've seen, a Darió stalking storyline doesn't seem out of the question for this disturbed man. Basically, the potential is there, but don't get your hopes up too high. What shows will it remind you of? The first season of Dark Desire was a giant hit for Netflix, putting up huge numbers in its non-English speaking categories. But let's be real, it doesn't matter what language Dark Desire is in, because it speaks the international language. It also joins a host of shows on the streamer that trade in the sultry, the salacious, and the oh-so-deliciously dramatic. Think 365 Days, What If, Sex Life, and Toy Boy. Thank you for your time, and what do you think? Will there be Season 3 or not? Share your comments in box.